Welcome everybody to another edition of WCW 2006 here in TEW 2020, and before we get to the shows, time for a little bit of the last two awards for the 2005 year-end awards, as we're almost at Superbrawl, so I figure, maybe not have awards for the whole freaking year, for the previous year. But yeah, these are the two last awards, and they are two of the more like goofy fun awards, so don't take these 100% seriously. I'm obviously like vote for who you support, but basically, these aren't like, obviously deep thought awards here. Not that any of them should be. But anyway, to get to them, the first award is the 2020 to 22 NXT Call-Up Memorial Award for bad debut years for me. So basically, these are basically these people I brought from Developmental and frankly did not book that greatly. So the possibilities are Kai Graves, who of course came up as sort of the muscle for the Deadpool once Mesias went over with Raven. And honestly, the big problem here, was that I just didn't have time to build him up to a monster the same way I did Mesias. So he sort of like had to be in like sort of big matches soon, and he's sort of stuck in like random six-mans or brawls and didn't quite get over, and I sort of like sent him off after Deadpool lost their Force of Wargames match. And he's officially back now, but I don't know what to do with him. And partially it is a regen character, so that's also another thing I've been sort of wacky about, but we'll just see how it goes there. Keith Walker, he actually got a strong push, and he had Tori Wilson as his manager, but I never felt like, honestly, the whole, like, him being, like, in the fighting pit really worked, and he wasn't getting over, and he sort of, like, and then his sort of, like, his angle where Keenan Sharp attacked Tori Wilson, well, not really attacked her, but knocked her down, really, like, fell apart once Wilson signed with WWE. So, yeah, I do have plans from this year, but you'll have to see how those work out, and if they do work out. Then we have Lila Vivez and Ronnie Jonah, two women up from our developmental territory. And honestly, Jay just turned into our face jobbers. Lila Vivez, who's like Lacey from the ROH in real life, who actually like had a fun character in that ROH. I haven't had able to figure something out with her. And Ronnie Jonah has just been like sort of like, a rocker chick and not much going on. And they've just basically like, they got one little run where they got a women's tag title shot, but after that, not much of anything. Seekers of Sin, basically same thing as Deadpool. They came in. I wasn't able to build them up enough to be a strong part of the tag team division. They might come back. If I remember them, they're coming up for contracts due. I think one of them actually has pretty decent stats, one of them not so much, so I might rework them. In real life, they were like a Western Canadian indie team forever. So, we'll have to see about that. Trevor Slater, and Slater was like the one I had some questions about because like I did create enough of a character for him, but I did sort of like just totally like I had that like goofy romance thing with him and Amy Weber, our Revolution Revolution interviewer that I just sort of like ended because I just didn't have time for it, and it like I don't mind dumb angles obviously, but I think it was more like I just didn't like have time for it, and it just didn't seem like it was working. I couldn't get where I wanted with it. So yeah. So that's first award. And the other sort of like silly award is the 2005 Wrestle Crap of the Year. So again, sort of put yourself in the time, like in the view of like sort of somebody like on the forums on who is going to sites like Wrestle Crap, very nascent, wrestling internet at the time, and sort of like what they would dislike. Also, you can like base on your own personal views. As always, you can always put in the comments your own personal choices here. But and again, I don't agree with all these obviously, but like some of them maybe, but also some criticisms I have seen and just stuff I've noticed from like what people like actually watch and everything. So we have Deadpool storyline. Again, this is sort of like you either really like it or really hate it. Like the whole thing from from them turning on Vampiro, then Misty's Morning Star turning up, the Nest arriving, all the wacky, like all the basically any wacky, spooky stuff that ended with War Games and then continued with the Nest is stuff you can vote for there. But again, some people really liked it, some people really hate it. So there you go. Kevin is obviously a champion. This is just more, he never really got over in game. And obviously with sort of the gap, he seemed to be champion for a lot longer than he actually was. So I assume like, some people, and also I assume he was sort of like seen as sort of like an overpush by like the internet at the time. Ray Jr. shirt WCW title reign. Like I didn't actually see much backlash to this like in comments or anything, but I imagine like in real life, there'd be a portion of the internet who'd still in like our 2023 would be writing about how they gave Ray Jr. the world title and his first world title, he lost it in a month to freaking Chuck Palumbo or whatever, Then there's like the tag title switcheroo, which, you know, bunch of tag titles near the end of the switches near the end of the year. Again, that's where I needed to go with it, so I'm fine with it. But if people didn't like it, you know, so be it. And then the Roman Empire disappearing. So again, this is like, you know, just sort of like, you know, I created it, pushed them decently strong. Then Toro had some bad, you know, chemistry luck with people, and he did some jobs, and then they disappeared. And now Toro's off doing his own thing on Revolution, and, you know, Johnny Swinger's back on his own, and Roman Rossi's, you know, in the Cruiserweight division as part of Jim Pan Wrestling. So again, I'm not taking these over seriously. Like, obviously, you know, if people want to comment on stuff they like or didn't like, but at least it's sort of like goofy, you know, because obviously not everything will be loved by everybody, and some people would be upset about certain people push. Like, you know, this is before you could, well, at least in game and in real life, watch these sort of dev territories. So there isn't quite the connection there is like with people who are upset, like, you know, that every NXT call up didn't really become a WrestleMania main eventer. But still, you know, so just go ahead and vote. And of course, you still can vote for anything that's still up. So, you know, we still got your, you know, non-wrestler of the year, which Bischoff is currently leading. Heyman's right behind. Honestly, kind of surprised Bischoff's in the lead. We have, you know, the Booker Hates the Skye Award, which is Chavo, Toro, and Shiri. You know, I'm not going to comment. Moment of the year. I guess you guys like Ray Jr. winning the world title. Not so much for the Ray Hack and Chosen Few or RVD enjoying his advocate. We have Show of the Year, which Bound for Glory seems to be winning. Mayhem. Hey, Mayhem. So you liked Ray Jr. winning the title, but it wasn't good enough to win any votes. Interesting. Food of the Year is Kanyon Eddy Guerrero. Of course, you guys hate women. I'm joking. Yeah, I get it. Ray Jr. versus RVD, and then Ray Chosen Feud versus Ninkyo is getting there. Heel of the Year, Eddie's pretty far out in front. I guess RVD was only heel half the year. Face of the Year, AJ Styles is way in front. Again, makes sense. I could have thrown Goldberg in here, but he wasn't really part, like, a main event guy for enough of the year for me to consider it counting. His best women's wrestler is Gail Kim. Yeah. I mean, and then best tag team is AMW. Male wrestler is AJ's by a long reign. Again, no votes for Kidman. Maybe that's wrestle crap. But yeah. So yeah, that's the awards. Again, there's still time to vote them if you haven't already. I appreciate, like, there has been decent turnout for everything. Like, obviously there's some where there's more or less, but I mean, getting like 20 to like getting like almost 20 to like close to 30 votes on all these is very impressive, and shows that, like, people are at least somewhat paying attention to it. You know, it's just not background noise, even though if you're using me for background noise, find better background noise. I don't know. Anyway, ranting, I might put in a note that this is, there's a bit to where we get the actual show. Let's go in with Nitro on the road to Superbrawl. So Nitro, live from the New York Times Union Center, and I believe that's Albany, New York. Starts out with Goldberg's music hitting to a big pop as the man comes out to the ring, takes the mic, and, you know, says, "Last week, I did what I had to do. I saw somebody in trouble, and I stepped in. That's students' business. You watch each other's back. Alex Wright, you tried to take me out, but I'm still standing here. I won't let anybody fall victim to the same dirty tricks." But Alex Wright, more importantly, what you did a few weeks ago was you signed your own end away. Because, see, I'm here, and I'm ready. You tried to destroy my knee. You tried to take me out of this business. But I'm here in this ring in Albany, New York, right now. And I'm telling you right now, Alex Wright at Superbrawl. And before you can finish, Brother Ray's music hits to a big pop, and Ray looks upset as he comes out to the ring. And, you know, he takes mic and says, "Goldberg, Bill, I appreciate what you did last week, but I don't need people fighting my own battles. I can fight on my own. I can come out here and battle and fight 1-on-1, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, because I'm a damn street survivor. And you have respect for me. You let me fight my own battles in this ring. Don't need anybody, even you, Bill, to fight things on my behalf." And Goldberg takes mic and says, "Look, Ray, I get where you're coming from, man. But this is about your beef with Wright. This is about what's right. I just couldn't stand back there and watch you get jumped from behind. That's not how I operate, okay?" And Ray says, "Goldberg, I respect you. You're a legend, but I've earned my stripes in this ring fighting for myself. I don't back down, and I don't take kindly people thinking I can't handle my own fights. That's the respect I've been talking about. Thing after thing, people think I'm just a guy who'll fade away. Maybe back to the mid-card as a tag team where people think I belong. It's about respect, and I prove I can stand on my own 2 feet." Wright crossed a line, So did Eddy. I'll get them on my own time. If you want to chase after Wright at Superbrawl, that's fine with me. But let me fight on my own 2 feet. And Brother Ray says, I respect that. I got your back. No matter what. If you need me, I'll be there. If you want to be your fight, that's fine. But I got one thing to say, and that's Alex Wright at Superbrawl, you're next. And Brother Ray still looks a little upset that Alex go over to that fight, but he points at Bill Goldberg, and everything seems fine, maybe, hopefully, as this gets 100. Sort of moving both the Eddy Brother Ray feud and the Goldberg Wright feud. And then we get the graphic coming up that it's Eddy Truth Tonight in a big main event as Eddy Guerrero takes on the Truth. Does it get to 68? Fun stuff. And then we're backstage as we have quite the interesting crew here. As we've got, of course, Ric Flair, the manager of Evolution, Blaster Lashley, and Claudio Cesaro with Ken Anderson. And Flair takes mic and says, "Woo! Tonight, Nitro is going to be witness a sheer domination of, the dominance of Evolution along with the one and only Ken Anderson. Because the Nature Boy knows what it's like to back somebody up and get out of the ring and fight. Especially when SOBs like Tank Toland and Tomko get involved. But I got the 2 finest athletes in the world today in WCW. Blaster Lashley, an All-American, a military man who can destroy anybody who's put in front of me. And Claudio Cesaro, a wrestling genius who knows 5 languages, who cannot be denied." So, Tomko, Toland, you got Devine, Jarrett little buddy with you. That's fine with us, because ready for a damn fight tonight as my men and Ken Anderson take you apart. Anderson takes mic and says, "That's right. Tank, Tomko, Devine, I got 2 men beside me. I'm ready to kick ass and take names. I'm ready to go out there and be a dirty a-hole if I have to kick your ass, anybody who gets in front of me. Because I got 2 men behind me. I got the GOAT on ringside, and there's nobody you can stop me. So you want to fight? That's fine. You want to make a statement? That's okay. Because congratulations, you got my attention, and now you're going to regret it." Flair takes me and says, "Tonight's our night. Evolution, Anderson, we're going to dismantle Toland, Tomko, and Devine. Peace. Bah, peace. Woo. We're going to show them why they never should cross paths with us, and by the end, they're going to learn hard lesson and respect." Woo! So, little fun promo. This gets a 70. I rated Lashley and Cesaro because I felt I had to, but good stuff. And then we have our TV title match, which was basically set up last week, as Jamie Knoble takes on Matt Sydal for the TV title. And here's the thing. Knoble looks strong at first. Like, he out-wrestles Sydal and takes him to the mat, but Sydal gets out of everything. Like, he goes for the trailer hitch, but Sydal's able to scramble to the ropes, and he fights back. He hits some big moves. Announcers put over, he's a former cruiserweight champion, so we get a big dive to the outside. We get some high-flying moves. We get a big springboard DDT that gets a near fall. We have Sydal even hitting a big, super kick, double aside moonsault for a near fall. And he goes up top for the shooting star press, but Knoble gets his knees up, and he locks him in the guillotine choke. But things count down, and Sydal is able to hold on for almost 15 seconds before the bell rings. And no, Knoble did not get the tap out. It's a time limit draw. So it seems like, Sydal, Knoble had the match won here, but Sydal was able to hang on and survive. This gets an 82, mostly because of Knoble, who gets an 87. Sydal gets a 57. Good stuff. And, Sydal, but Knoble is not done. Like, he's locking Sydal into another hold and looking on, but to a big pop, out comes Ray Jr. to make the save and, force Knoble to get away. Jr. helps Sydal up, and he raises his hands as he wants to put over that, Matt Sydal push Jamie Knoble to the limits here for the television title, as this gets a 70, like I said. And then we have a, promo backstage as Jeremy Barash is with Annie Vidal and Nikki Radcliffe, aka the Social Senior WWE World Tag Team Champions, at least of the women's variety. And, Barash, asks them about, Lexi James and Jerry Dawkins, implying they're afraid of competition from Captivation. And, Nikki Rex says, "We heard what Dawkins and Lexi James, sorry, wrong name there, said last week." And he steps in and says, and she has Captivation issued a challenge, and we're always ready for a good time. Whether it's in the club, at the bar, soaking in the sun, on the beach, or even thrown down in the WCW ring. And then, Desiree, Nikki says, Desiree and Mickey, you got talent in the ring. Nobody can deny that. You're tough competitors without an issue. But here's the thing. We're the social scene. We live for the thrill of fight, the energy of that crowd, and the glory of defending these titles anywhere at any time. And, Annie adds in, you want to shout out titles? But let's warn you. Comes our finish. What's ours? We bring more than just a good time. We bring it all. The fight, the heart, and the will to win. And, Nikki says, we party hard, and we fought even harder to get to the top of the tag team division here in WCW when nobody said it could be done. And we love a good party, especially with our titles, and we're not going to let anybody crash that without a fight. And, then she says, at the end of the day, it's about what happens in that ring. And we plan out walking just as we walked in. The WCW Women's World Tag Team Champions. The party doesn't stop, and neither do we. So, good stuff. 54, decent little promo continuing the undercard women's feud here. And then we have a backstage promo as Ninkyo, or Sabi Keeler, along with Kaz and Yang, are, backstage, and they, Keeler says, my men are unlimited in their talent. And tonight, we're going to prove that when we beat America's Most Wanted again, and walk into Superbrawl and take back our tag team titles. Booker, Shelton, you got lucky by being able to beat us in tag team turmoil. That is not going to happen again. My two men know what's at stake for them. And I know what's at stake for me if we disappoint our backers in Japan again. So, appreciate your time you got left titles, because my men are coming back to take what's theirs. Solid promo putting over the big number one contenders match later tonight, and the possibly title match at Superbrawl. And then we have the big six-man match as we have it's Tomko, Tank Toland, and Simply John Devine versus Anderson and Evolution, and this is just a whack. This is just a mayhem. Things go out of control almost from the start. Evolution is doing Evolution stuff, so Lashley's throwing around people. We have a Tomko Lashley little brawl. I'm sure gets a pop from the crowd. Toland's acting like a crappy heel. Devine's doing a little bit of high flying stuff. Sort of cocky heel cruiserweight. Cesaro's hitting people with suplexes. Anderson's fighting around, and then what actually happens is we're 3 minutes in the match when Raven and Prophet of the Nest show up, and as the ref is sort of keeping things down, keeping things controlled, Raven and Prophet just attack Blaster, Lashley, and Cesaro as they're on the outside of the ring, and Morgan even goes after Ric Flair, blocking him from going after him, and that distracts, of course, Anderson, and he then walks into a chainsaw cutter from Tomko, who gets a pinfall win here. 1, 2, 3, 70 overall. Anderson gets an 81. Cesaro gets a 63. Lashley gets a 43. Devine gets a 68. Toland gets a 70. Tomko gets a 54. And yeah, we're building up some. There we go. Yeah, I don't care about I know in theory that hurts you, but I don't care that much. So the crowd's sort of shocked because again, the Nest have never been full-fledged faces, but they've been battling Deadpool, who are of course the evil spooky heels, so they've been getting cheers. But they did warn destruction was coming, and I guess we'll just have to see what they mean as basically everybody sort of gets out of the ring as Raven are at the top of the ramp, as Evolution are sort of recovering, and now Ric Flair is obviously pissed, but Raven takes the mic and he says this. Ooh, this didn't do great. Oh, because it's short, right? Okay, yeah, and also Raven has some morale. So anyway, Raven takes the mic, says, Evolution, Ric Flair, you stand there, icon of an bygone era, trying to force a new era that looks like the old on us. The times have changed. The Nets have been watching, waiting, and now the time for action has come. We're no longer content lurking in our own shadows. We're to bring about a new order to cause destruction and chaos once again, for anarchy to reign across WCW. See, Flair, you've always been a master of manipulation, so-called dirtiest player in the game. But the Nest, we play a different game. A game where the old rules no longer apply. A game where your tricks and your legacy mean absolutely nothing, Flair, and neither do your new charges. Evolution may claim to be out the future, but just represents the past of cliches and people being forced upon the wrestling crowd. And we, the Nest, are harbingers of the true future. We'll dismantle the old guard piece by piece, starting with you. Your time at the top is over as you desperately cling on it through new charges. The age of the Nest has begun. Flair, Lashley, Cesaro, you're all just pawns in a much larger game. A game you no longer control. The Nest is everywhere, and our influence grows with every passing days. You cannot stop what is coming. You cannot escape the inevitable. This isn't a warning. It's a declaration. It's a guarantee. The old ways are dying, and those who cling them will fall. We are the architects of a new era, and we will build it upon the ruins of evolution and everything it stands for. Embrace this change or be swept by it. The choice is yours. Quote the Raven, nevermore. Unfortunately, this only gets a 67, I think, because I rated various people. But yeah, fun stuff. And this is sort of like, again, Raven, Prophet, Nestor now officially heals, and now they're feuding with Evolution. Hopefully this will sort of charge them up again as they're not involved in the wacky stuff anymore. I mean, they're wacky, they're spooky whacking on their own because it's Raven, but now it's not spooky versus spooky, it's spooky versus normal. And then we cut backstage. As Eddy Guerrero rolled badly on his no script, which is unfortunately. But Jeremy Borash is now with Eddy Guerrero as he, basically, asked him about facing the truth around killings. Last week you saw, basically there's some moments involving you, with Ray, Alex Wright, and even the return of Goldberg. And then he asked him about the match, and he says, let's get one thing straight. Tonight, in that ring against the truth, it's all about proving why I'm still the man to beat here in WCW. The truth, you're tough, and you've been successful, amigo. But you're not Eddy Guerrero. I'm going out there and show everyone, including the truth, why I'm still the best in the business, and why I still deserve to be at the top of WCW. And if you want to talk about what happened to Alex Brother Ray last week, well, what happened was I saw an opportunity, I went in there, and I jumped in on Brother Ray, because I'm just adding a little spice to the mix. You either get stepped up, or you get stepped on in this business, and Brother Ray, you're getting stepped on. And you got a problem with that, come find me, because I'm happy to have a little brawl, Holmes. Goldberg coming back, that's just what he does. He disappears, he comes back, he disappears, he comes back, all full of piss and vinegar, but that doesn't matter. But hey, if he wants to play hero against me, that's no problem, because I'll remind why I'm the dirtiest player in the game. No, sorry, that's Flair's line. I forgot what his line. Anyway, why I'll do anything I need to lie, cheat, and steal to stay at the top of this business. Borash. But as far as the truth tonight, tonight's about proving a point. But I was showing Eddy Guerrero is still at the top of this game, and killings, you're just another obstacle in my path. I'm way to the top of this business. Guerrero family values mean that when you're in that ring with me, you're in the fight for your life. And everybody else, including Brother Ray, you better keep watching because I'm just getting started. Viva la raza. There we go. A little promo. 89. Unfortunately rolled badly on the, not being scripted, but hey, I'm not going to script Eddy. And building up, the main event later tonight. And then before the big, tag team match, who will determine the number one contenders, we have Booker T and Shelton showing up to watch the match, which gets 68 as just the overness coming out. The actual match itself gets an 81. Okay, good stuff. Was there anything of note why this, I thought this was a little disappointing. Oh, fuck. I forgot to add a storyline to this. Okay, that makes sense. I'm a dumbass. Well, not the end of the world. Okay. So yeah, this possibly could have been like an 85 or an 86 if I would remember to add a storyline, because I'm a very smart person who knows how to play this game that I've played for thousands of hours, little versions, still well. Anyway, this is your very typical, a very good match these guys have. We have Kazgizzy 98s, and then Yang's, Storm, and Harris, all very good. Honestly, you can talk about my booking over other people, but Yang, he's a solid guy now, Anyway, sorry, not too much more. We got our half line, we got some keeper, distractions. We got some brawling from Harris and Storm. We got some big moves from Storm. Harris fighting around, double teams. Kaz and Yang fighting back. Yang hitting some big high-flying moves. We got some heel heat as building up to big hot tag James Storm. Thing just, brawling and just flying all around. But eventually what happens is, Harris and Kaz are in the ring, and, like, no distractions, no interference. Like, there's obviously some heel shenanigans throughout the match. What happens here is pretty simple. Kaz drills Chris Harris with his kick of death and gets a pinfall victory as Yang is able to stop Storm from making the save. 1, 2, 3. Ninkyo are getting the match at Superbrawl, and this gets an 81, like I said. So fun stuff. And then we have, Kaz, Yang, Keebler having a stare down with Booker T and Angel Dimension, which gets a 73, as just put over the big match for Superbrawl. So I'll book that in as, Ninkyo get their sort of rematch they think they deserve at Superbrawl for the WWE Tag Team Championships of the world. Okay, I've already booked Goldberg Wright, Brother Ray's Eddy Guerrero is basically already booked. Okay, yeah, nothing else that needs to pop up. So fun stuff, and move forward. And then we have, coming a big sort of fun little segment here, as it starts off with AJ Styles coming down to the ring. Big pop for the WWE World Champion, as he comes to the ring, and like he's sort of like, sort of smiling and laughing as he says, welcome everybody to Nitro, and we're just a couple weeks out from Superbrawl. But I want to talk about something else for the moment. That's you, Jeff Jarrett. You see, last week, you had a little fun at my expense. You decided to go to my supposed hometown and, interview all the locals and, make fun of me. But here's reality. Jeff, I don't live in some holler in the middle of nowhere. I live in a normal small town. We got schools, we got churches, we got small businesses, we got a fire, we got a fire department, police department. Hell, we even got a Starbucks now. But, we have normal working class people there, Jeff. That's something you wouldn't know about, right? Jeff, he thinks anybody who's not like him is just that a yokel with no teeth who has never been to school. And that's the thing, Jeff, is you've distracted my family, my roots, and everything I've worked so hard to achieve for in WCW. I didn't walk into this company getting handed this title. I fought, I bled, I got hurt for it. I have earned it every single bit from my first night here to my last night in here. So see, I was raised that respect is earned, not given based on your name or what you did in the past. Your word and your actions actually mean something, Jarrett. But you seem to think that playing mind games and mocking where I was born is something that's going to give you an edge. Let me tell you something. There's no edge. There are mind games. It's only fueled my fire to shut you the hell up. So Superbrawl is not about defending the title. It's about proving a point. It's showing no matter where you come from, whether a small town or big city, whether you're born on the bottom or the top. What really matters is what you do in this damn ring. And what I do in this ring is wrestle like nobody else can. I am phenomenal. And Superbrawl, Jeff, I'm going to prove it. I'm going to prove to you exactly who AJ Styles really is. And then, chosen one. Out comes Jeff Jarrett, because, of course, there would be a promo segment here without a confrontation. And, Jarrett takes and says, Styles, it doesn't matter where you come from, whether it's town with Starbucks or not. What matters is you're not the chosen one. And that's why at Superbrawl, I will be the world champion once again. You see, AJ, it's about your hometown or your journey or anything else. It's about legacy, destiny, and the fact that I am the one chosen to lead WWE in the future. You're just a placeholder, a footnote, a speed bump in my story. Slap nuts. And AJ fires back. Jarrett, you said you're chosen one. The only thing you're chosen for us to learn a hard lesson at Superbrawl, man. You don't respect what I've done for WCW, but let me tell you something. I actually respect something about you, your family. They built up the Memphis territory for decades and helped bring some of the best wrestlers in history into this business. They laid the foundations for everything we have in WCW today, to a certain extent. But you, Jeff, you're just a spoiled brat. You had everything handed to you a silver platter, and you still bitched about it for years. With your role, you're going to find out exactly why I'm the face that runs this place, and these people's WCW World Champion. And, Jarrett says, Styles, come on. Keep playing in your fantasy world where you think you're the top dog. Remember this. That's a role. I'm going to shatter that fantasy and bring you the reality that I am the chosen one, and that world championship belongs around my waist. And Styles finishes up, says, Jarrett, Superbrawl is about one thing: this title and proving who belongs at the top. And I fought too hard and too damn long to let someone like you take that away from me. You're going to learn the hard way why they call me phenomenal. Stare down, and there we go. Big pop, and this gets 100 because it's these guys. And hey, AJ, come on, you're doing well, man. Then we have a backstage segment, which is basically just a 5-minute rap by The Truth about Eddy Guerrero. Again, I can't do raps, which is probably a bad thing for The Truth segments, but, you know, we get little fun things, you know, probably, you know, it's hitting both Eddy and Wright, you know, you talk about having nothing left to prove, you know, Eddy's got moves, you know, something about, like, lies and cheatings, you know, so not bringing justice to Alex Wright, you know, fun stuff, you know. Oh, again, it's a rap, it's cool, it's truth, he's doing well, you know, and just finishing with, and that's the damn truth. 84, good stuff. And then we have our number 1 contenders match for the women's title, basically set up last week, and here's Skye versus Lizzy Dumas. And what happens? Ooh, what happened with the rating here? This okay, oh, right, because this was my storyline. Okay, right, this is my storytelling match. It's like, wow, those women did not do well. But yeah, okay, this is storytelling. Again, the story is here. You know, these are two women going after each other for a title shot, and they keep on fighting, and it's like intense right from the start. They're going right after each other. You know, Lizzy Dumas hits a twist of fate, you know, early on, and actually goes for the moonsault, but Tricia gets out of the way. Tricia's Skye eventually goes for the sky's limit, but as she's going for the bulldog part, Lizzy turns into a powerbomb, which she dumps Tricia out of the ring. That turns a fight outside of the ring. We got some brawling, we got some fighting, we got some, you know, hair throwing, we got some rolling around fighting, you know, big pops for that. But eventually, the ref calls for the double countout, and the question is, who's getting the women's world title shot? You know, both women are still fighting and have to be pulled apart when your WCW Women's World Champions Nikita Colt music hits, and she comes out to the top of the ramp. And she says, "Ah, Tricia, Lizzy, what an energizing display of futility. You have brought so valiantly, but you cannot determine who is worthy to actually face me at Superbrawl. It's quite poetic, isn't it? You see, in my eyes, neither of you are truly worthy of a shot at my title. Lizzy, what have you done lately? And Tricia, you were just one of the many women I defeated at Starrcade in the women's ladder match. But you have proven to be entertaining to myself. And I'm a champion who enjoys a challenge after all, even from two lesser opponents. So I decided, in my infinite generosity, to grant both of you a chance. Me. That's your role. It'll be Nikita Colt versus Tricia Skye versus Lizzy Dumas in a triple threat match for the WCW Women's World Championship. Tricia, Lizzy, prepare yourself, because you're stepping in the ring with a champion of the highest caliber, a woman who embodies the very essence of superiority. I'm not just a champion, I am a force of nature, I'm an unstoppable entity in the women's division. At Superbrawl, I will not just defend this title, proudly. I will dominate. I will prove once again why I'm the undisputed queen of this division. You know, your accolades, your history, your fanfare, but none of this will save you from the cold, hard truth. As this belt, it represents excellence in this ring, a level of skill and power that neither of you can match. And comes Superbrawl, I will show you once again why I reign supreme and why I have ice in my veins. So prepare yourselves for a true lesson in wrestling mastery for our lines. So let's get to 77. I actually rated Lizzy and Tricia, would probably show them because it's just a Nikki promo. But good stuff. And so here's the thing. I'm kind of basically doing Gunther with her, but here's the thing, is I had her as sort of like the icy heel German champion before, you know, Gunther was getting his Gunther push in WWE. So like I'm not totally ripping off, but it's sort of the same thing. Like I'm sure if you go back to like sort of my like early stuff with the European Disunion, they weren't quite this, but hey, you know. Anyway, good stuff, and we have our next match for Superbrawl, which is a women's title match. And I'm actually interested to see when was the last time I actually gave Lizzy Dumas a title shot. Because I was kind of disappointed her, so she sort of became like part of the upper mid card with Captivation. So I am actually now curious. There we go. So, can I get there from here? I cannot. Okay. I'll have to look that up after the show. But anyway, 77, good stuff. And then we have another VTR with Penny Grable, aka Kara Slice slash Cherry from OD, and her, old wrestling traditionalist, old 50s, 60s women's wrestler. And she just sort of like, talks about how she's part of traditional wrestling when women were women, and we went for the ring to take care of our husbands. We're true athletes. We didn't have to show off ourselves like the women today. And, she sort of like insults, the various women. We weren't walking around, thinking we were stars like Nikki Rocks. We weren't exposing ourselves like Tricia Skye does every single day in the ring, stuff like that. Basically like, saying she was a superior athlete, but she's also superior morally, all that fun stuff. 45, again, I give it 4 minutes because that helps increase popularity. Obviously, this wouldn't be a real, but with the game, the way the game works, that's unfortunately what I have to do. But not the end of the world. So we have our Revolution recap focusing on, of course, on the main event, which gets a 70. And then we have our main event of the evening, which hopefully gets a good rating. Okay, 84. Oh no. You see that? That's a severe concussion. That's called some of my booking plans have just been torn asunder. Brother Ray, I'm sorry, you might not have a opponent anymore. Yeah, so, I'm assuming this happened somewhere in the match. It wasn't bad enough that it was changed. So basically, like, it's a solid match. It's Eddy 91, Truth 94, 84 overall. But it's back and forth match. But, basically, Eddy has cheated and gained advantage near the end when Brother Ray just runs in and starts brawling with him. And, like, obviously the Truth is disqualified and the match is thrown out. But yeah, that gets an 84. Yeah, it's a very, I know. It's sad. So as Eddy tries to act amused, well, he probably doesn't know where he is. Basically, like, the Truth is upset, obviously, about this. Brother said, like, he said something like, we sort of caught, sort of like a end of the show confrontation. He says, no, he's just drinking empty. I didn't go after you. I'm sorry. But Trish is like, brother, I was fighting him. And he says, and we get him, basically them fighting back and like sort of almost coming to blows, but just like being upset at each other as Eddy looks amused on the outside. So that gives an 85, and overall the show itself gets us 90. Okay, good stuff. So now I just care about seeing how badly Eddy's out. Like, it's weird that doesn't change the like result, because usually with like really bad injuries, like they'll do a, like, the game will do sort of like oh god, I'm forgetting the word. Quarterbacks. Oh, completely forgetting the word. Why can't I remember that word? Quarterback can do a audible. Yeah, so the wrestler will do an audible and change what the, like, finish was. So maybe it's not that bad. Maybe we're in a situation where we are with the other guy we have who's just injured and bad. So yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see out this. Okay, well, only out a few weeks. Okay, that's not as bad as I thought. So actually, I just want to see here. Eddy. Oh, okay. That's shockingly realistic for 2006 wrestling, but that's, severe concussion, out 2 weeks. These two things do not seem like the other, but okay. The thing kind of sucks that just literally makes him unable to be at Superbrawl, and that's it. Like, it doesn't really affect anything else. That's like, honestly, I either would have wanted, like, just, like, be able to work angles, or, like, be able to still wrestle, or just work through it, or be out for, like, 6 months, because that's sort of the worst. Shit. Okay. This honestly kind of helps Brother Ray, because, like, he won't have a match at Superbrawl, but he'll feel more disrespected. Again, it could be better, but yeah, that's funny. That's only 2 weeks. Brother. Okay. So yeah, we got a 2.16. Good stuff. Raw got a, they're in Japan, so their matches are all screwed up. Anyway, so we have Crash Holly leaving Clarity Cool by DQ. Again, I wish this game knew how to book people strong, like, who are coming in as new wrestlers, but it is what it is. Let's see. Rick Steiner feed Ron Wireman. Sure. We had Goofy Juice and the Outcast feeding Thrasher and Shannon Maven in 74. We had Amber James and Molly Holly defeating Elizabeth Love and Jamie Keys in a ladder match in 81. Batista defeating CM Punk by DQ in 93. Sure. Then PP defeated Skyfall Kai Lion. And then your main event, Big Show and Vampiro defeated Chris Jericho and Steven Richards in 99. So I guess they're kind of doing the Big Show Chris Jericho feud they should do with Jericho's Jerks ending. So yeah. Also, if you notice, like, yeah. So Mesias' contract is up, which again, I tend not to like update you guys, but since it's right there in the news, I'll show you real quick. So yeah, Mesias, let's see here. That's not great. Let's see here. View raw of offers. Okay. Okay. Why is it? Oh, signing bonus. Okay. Wait. Is it because it's 4 years? It's because it's right. It's because it's 4 years. Okay. So if we just up it to 4 years. Yeah, okay. There we go. Again, we're probably overpaying for him slightly, but you know, he's going to be a strong part of our stuff. So literally that could have been a lot worse. I'm going to be honest about things. I'm going to have to pay some people because like a lot of these morale issues are because of bad turns, but like since I don't care, they shouldn't care. WWE is setting their sights. Okay, sure. Anyway, sort of a weird thing with the finish, but I feel good about everything else. But I'll be back in just a second with Revolution. So I don't usually show you guys random stuff from the game, but this was just an insane stuff. So first we have DTP getting a divorce from Kimberly Page, which I think happened earlier in real life, but you know, whatever. Last longer, who knows? But we also have DX 2.0 losing Just Incredible, which makes sense because he was like literally never used. Then we also have Vampire Warrior and Luna Vachon getting divorced. But, of course, most importantly, we have Angel, who's this guy. Guy from XPW, played hardcore homo Angel. So, you know, very early 2000s gimmick. And Tylene Buck, a.k.a. Major Guns from WCW, is now engaged. Opposites attract, I guess? I don't know. Anyway, I'll be back in a moment with Revolution. I just thought this was all wacky enough to actually show you guys. All right, and it is now time for Revolution live from the beautiful Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey. And we start the show with, of all people, Shane Helms coming out, and he says, "Once again, WCW officials are conspiring against me. I came this close to shocking them by taking out Kurt Angle on his first night in the company, so they decide they have to send the monster Mesias after me. But they've forgotten that I faced some of the best in the business. They've forgotten I'm a legend killer. They've forgotten that I'm a former world champion, the greatest United States champion of all time, and a man who has made event at the Starcade. So Mesias, you think I'm supposed to be scared of you? I'm not. Because, you know, let's be honest here. Here's an opponent, another chapter in my legacy, not your legacy. And when I beat him tonight, it'll be a reminder of I am exactly who I say I am. One of the best, the best in the business. After all, Mesias, reality is, people talk about you being some scary monster, but all through your time in WCW, nothing but a pawn. A tool in the hand of guys like Vampiro, Morningstar, Raven, wherever the next guy in goth makeup shows up. But me, I've carved out my own legacy on my own, leading men. And I do what I'm talking in the ring, and I back it up every single time. So bring on the monster, bring on the freak show, I'm ready for it. It's my time, not your time anymore, Mesias. But then Mesias' music hits, and Shane Helms all of a sudden looks a lot more scared. So we got this match coming up next. It was set up last week, basically by Shane Helms whining, and today long giving a match. This gets a 96, good stuff. And then we have the actual match, which is Mesias killing Shane Helms with the powerbomb, which I forgot to add a storyline to this. God damn it, I keep on forgetting to do this. So we lost probably like 6 points on that. Not the end of the world or anything, but still. Could have been a lot better. Mesias gets an 80, Shane Helms gets an 82. I mean, this is the sort of match you expect. Like, Shane Helms does some stick and move stuff, like to sort of, get over. He even does a couple super kicks. And he does actually hit the Nightmare on Helms route eventually, but Mesias kicks out. And from there, it's Mesias just like kicking his ass, eventually hitting the Crucifix Powerbomb for the pinfall victory in a little bit more 10 minutes. So yeah, Mesias gets an 80, Helms gets an 82. Overall, the match gets 75 because I forgot to throw a storyline on it because I'm a very smart person. And post-match, Mesias celebrates as you'd expect. But yeah, 72, good, nothing too terrible there. Then we go backstage for a fun little segment. Oh wait, no, we had a big main event tonight. First, what's announced of Chuck Palumbo and RVD versus Sean O'Haire and Kanyon. 70 as this graphic. And then we go backstage as a little goofy segment here, as we have Jamie Knoble backstage when he's sort of confronted by Trevor Slater, who basically says, you've been dodging and weaving long enough. It's time you gave me a shot at that TV title. I'm working my tail off, and I deserve it. And Knoble just blows on. He's like, Trevor, what have you actually done? I'm the television champion. I get in that ring every single time and defend that title against the best. You think you deserve a shot? Ha! You don't even have the America's Most Wanted backing up anymore as your fake friends anymore. They ran off without you, and you're all alone, just being the goofball that you are. But you know what? I'm fighting champion. I want to defend this title. But you don't deserve a shot at me yet. But if you defeat somebody, I'll be happy to tap you out in the middle of this ring. And Trevor's like, fine, I'll fight whoever. And then in walks Austin Aries. Big, decent heel pop for that. As Knoble says, this man is going to take you apart in that ring and prove you're nothing but a joke. And Austin says, exactly. Slater, it'll be my absolute pleasure to take you down a peg or two, because I'm Austin Aries. I'm the the hottest rising young star on Revolution, and you're just going to be another step in my ascent to greatness. Slater says, you can talk, be better, walk in the ring. I'm ready to brawl and fight all over. And when I'm done with you, Austin, I'm going to beat you, Jamie, for that TV title. And Aries says, Trevor's bring what we got. It's going to be enough because I'm on another level, a level you can never dream of reaching, buddy. When I beat you, it's going to be a stark reminder of the gap between us. And Knoble steps and says, and look, even if you get extremely lucky and beat Aries tonight, when we get on the ring, you're going to have two choices at the end. Tap or hear your bone snap. Decent stuff, 65. Probably could have scripted them, but, not the end of the world. So setting up a match for a little later tonight. And then we have Kanyon Sharp destroying Romy Rossi. I mean, this is just I don't say a complete squash. Rossi gets a couple flying moves in, but this is just Sharp throwing it around, eventually getting a big suplex or two, and then locking him in a random submission to get the win after a little under 5 minutes. It's still get the 70, as Sharp gets an 85, Rossi gets a 54. And then, after the match, Sharp, has gotten the victory, and he takes the mic and he says, tonight, you've all just witnessed another step in my journey on the path. Another soul guided onto that path, if he's willing, Romy Rossi. But there's one soul in particular that requires my attention. Paul London, the WCW United States Champion. Paul, you hold that championship, but you wander aimlessly from your true purpose. You're a man in need of direction, and you need someone to guide you on the path. At Superbrawl, I will not only guide you for your title, challenge you for the title, but I'll give you a chance to walk behind me to really understand what it means to be enlightened and on the correct path in your life. You see, the path is about higher, more than victories and titles. It's about transcending the mundane, by reaching a higher state of being. So, Paul, I will take that title away from you to take you away from such earthly pleasures as titles and winning glory. See the world as it truly is, as my servant. Big pop as Paul London comes out and says, Sharp, you talk a lot about that path of yours, but let me tell you something. I don't follow, I lead. You think you can guide me? You think you can put me behind you? I fought too hard to long as someone like you to take my direction in this life. And let's be honest here, you can talk a big game about enlightenment and earthly glories, but you want that title just as badly as I want to keep it. Superbrawl is not walking some mystical path. It's about fighting for the U.S. Championship. It's about proving who the better wrestler is. And that's something I plan to show you in no uncertain terms. And short fires back. Polymer turns is about leading or following. It's about understanding. You have a potential that's wasted on your narrow view of what it means to be champion. When I feature you at Superbrawl, I want you to be taking your title. I'll be offering you a chance to embrace a greater purpose on the path. And it says, my purpose is clear, Kaden, to be the best U.S. champion I can be, to the title against all comers, and Superbrawl to find out how serious I am about that. There's no path, no alignment, just you and me on the ring and my title on the line. So let's get to 91. Good stuff. Building up the U.S. title match that's upcoming at Superbrawl. Set up way back at the pay-per-view when London, was basically attacked by Sharp after, winning his U.S. title match. And then we have a backstage segment as Amy Weber is with Angel Foxx and all that Alyssa Alexander. And, Amy Weber asks her, asks Alyssa that they got a big match against European Disunion later tonight. And Alyssa, you've got a couple big victories, but Nikki Colt said that, that a 1 or 2 wins is enough for a title shot. So, what are your thoughts taking her on in a big in a big tag team match? And, Alyssa Alexander says, Nikki Colt said whatever she wants. If 1 wins is enough, I'll just keep on winning over and over, racking it up until she cannot ignore me as a contender anymore. Tonight's about showing Colt and anybody else I'm just not a one-hit wonder. I'm ready to compete, to win, and eventually take that Women's World Championship off her or anybody else who has it around their waist. And, then Amy Weber says, Angel, you've had your own issues in your cult. Is that why you're teaming up with Alyssa tonight? And, Angel Foxx says, it's pretty simple. I can't challenge for that belt anymore since I lost at Clash of Champions. And I'm fine with it. But I'm going to take a different approach. If I can't be the one to dethrone her, I'll do everything in my power to help those who can. Alyssa's a rising star in her revolution, and she's got a real shot at taking Colt down a peg. So I'm here to help her out with my experience and with my success so far. And together, we're going to shock European Disunion by going there and kicking their ass. And, Alexander says, Colt can talk all he wants, but she's not unbeatable. Anybody can be beaten in that wrestling ring, and with Angel on my side, we're forced to be reckoned with. We're going to take the title fight straight to European Disunion and come out on top. Simple babyface promo, setting up the match later tonight. This gets a 63. Bad rolls on their performing, but not the end of the world. Ironically, it says performed poorly, but she also improvised well, so yeah. And then we have that match, Trevor Slater versus Austin Aries. And it's a decent little match, back and forth match. Austin Aries gets his heel stick. Trevor Slater, gets some brawling in. But eventually what happens is as the match is continuing, there's a ref distraction. And out walks Chavo Guerrero Jr., who of course Austin Aries got a dirty victory over a couple weeks ago. And he comes in and he, just comes in and just wallps Aries from behind. Aries doesn't cheat beforehand, so it's okay. At least, karmically, I guess. And that allows Trevor Slater to hit the sweet and sour to pick up the big victory over Austin Aries and get a future TV title shot at Jamie Knoble. This gets a 64. Aries got a 56. Slater got a 50. Good stuff. And Aries freaks out in the ring as Slater celebrates and Chavo, sort of looks at him angrily. 51. Again, not the biggest thing, but fun stuff here. And then we have our, typical backstage promo here between the two men that are teaming up. As, Heyman talks about RVD being still the #1 star in the business, Mr. Wednesday Night, Mr. Pay-Per-View. And tonight's just a reminder of why he is the biggest star in the business and why, as his advocate, he's happy to bring RVD into the main event of Revolution, and he's going to come out as the winner. Palumbo says, we can worry out who's the biggest star later. What's more important is teaming tonight and teaching Kanyon and Sean O'Haire a lesson in respect. He's a former world champion, so is RVD, and around that ring and destroy Kanyon O'Haire. And then, Mark Jack says, he's magnificent, and he's going to make sure nobody gets involved who shouldn't be against the thrillers of him and O'Haire, of him and Palumbo, and teaming up with RVD. RVD says he doesn't need the backup. There's a little bit of tension, but, typical backstage heel promo, building the, match later, putting over the fact that, it's all world champions and the former world champions in the main event tonight. And it gets to 99 because all these guys are good. And then we have a fun little, basically training video which, shows Kurt Angle doing Kurt Angle stuff, weights, running, in the ring, doing holds with various other, various unnamed wrestlers, working hard. But also we see Billy Kidman, training, but like in a very like not high tech way, but in a very like sort of like pampered way. He's doing his stuff, in the ring, and we see him like, sort of like, April Hunter giving him rub downs, drinking some expensive water, Barry putting him sweat, and Angle just being Kurt Angle. Like, just your principal setup, nothing too fancy here. This is just a little bit of a Rocky thing, except, the whole angle here is that, like, Kidman doesn't actually look down on Angle, but he's not treating Angle as anything different. He's been successful so far doing what he does, and, Kurt's just another wrestler. Well, Angle is, of course, crazy Kurt Angle wrestling machine. 91, good stuff, building things up to the big match at Superbrawl. And then we have Monty Brown destroying local wrestler Bobby Shields in a minute. Just destruction, just total squash, pounce, boom, wham, that's the end of it. And then Monty Brown takes the mic, and he says, "Once again, I have proven my greatness. Look around, Revolution. The alpha male stands before you, victorious. Once again, I am the predator of this jungle of the ring, and I demand some damn competition. I want someone to step up, someone who can actually give me a challenge, because I am the alpha male of this company, and I have not seen anybody who can stand up to my greatness. Anybody that gets in the ring will be destroyed by me. But is there anybody brave enough to stand up and face the alpha male?" There's a moment, and then, of all people, Jack Evans' music hits, and he comes down to the ring. And he takes me and says, "Monty, you want some competition? You're looking at it. I might not be the biggest guy in WCW, but I face some of the best in this business. Eddy Guerrero, RVD, we were in the same match. We're in the finals of the Mayhem tournament. You name them, I've gone toe-to-toe with them. And Superbrawl, I don't want to face you one-on-one in that ring." And Brown sort of like, chuckles, like, derisively, but not like just like brush off, just sort of like amused at it as he says, "Evans, you've got guts. I gotta give you that. Well, you're stepping into the lion's den. You think because you've wrestled a few big names, you're ready for the alpha male? I'm the top predator here. And Evans, as far as I'm concerned, when I'm looking at you, you're just prey." Evans, he's just, not scared. He says, "Monty, I'm in a career of defying expectations. I thrive as an underdog. And Superbrawl, I plan to shock the world once again when I beat you and take down the alpha male." And Monty's like, "Fine, you want the match, you got it. But remember, you asked for this. When you got ring and you get destroyed, you're gonna feel the full force of the pounce. And when it's all said and done, you'll just be another victim of the path of the alpha male when I hit you with that pounce." And Jack finishes off and says, "Monty, I know the damn risk. I know I'm capable of. Superbrawl, the alpha male meets the ultimate underdog, and I'm not going down without a fight." So good stuff. 81. This is only 4 minutes. But yeah, another big match set up for Superbrawl as we have Monty Brown, your friend and mine, versus Jack Evans. And then we have Kanyon O'Haire backstage, and basically bit of a mutual admiration society, joking about their past fighting. And O'Haire says, he's disappointed still about what happened with Clash of Champions, but he's ready to get back in that ring and prove he's at the top of his game still, and to be a future shock here in WCW. And Kanyon says, once again, he's in the main event against some of the best in the business, and he's going to prove he still deserves to be at the top of this business. RVD, we've had our fights before, and Palumbo, you've come after me, but after tonight, you're going to be reminded once again that nobody's better than Kanyon. 100, good stuff. Just these guys both being really over and really popular and entertaining, and move on with the show. And then we have the tag match between Alex Alexander and Angel Foxx taking on European Disunion. And, this is a back and forth match. Colt and Music have their technical skills, and, the fact they've teamed up a lot before. But Alexander and Foxx look impressive. Foxx has a bit of her own fighting, getting a few big moves, including going after a cult. Alexander comes in, the rising young, wrestling babyface, hits a few big suplexes, clotheslines, hits a big, modified fisherman's on Cult for a near fall. She actually hits a big spine buster of Doom on Cult, but Busick breaks it up. Fighting continues. Eventually, Alexander and Cult end up on the outside, and Foxx is able to nail Busick with the Angel Snap, which is sort of a modified stunner, to pick the big victory here in a little over 13 minutes. This gets a 78, Busick gets a 67, Cult gets a 93 because she's great, Foxx gets a 72, and Alexander gets a 53. Fun stuff. Post-match, Cult and Alexander continue to brawl on the outside of the ring until WWE officials come out and break it apart, and it seems like Alexander really wants to prove she wants a shot at WWE Women's World Champion, he Cult. Good stuff here as we continue to build up this little feud. Because, you can build a feud between, multiple challengers for champions, it turns out. Anyway, and then we have another of those angles where we have, jungle music, more chanting, more like sort of vague warnings of destruction coming, but no name yet, as this gets a 33. Again, if you know my dev roster, you probably know who's coming in, but I just like building things up. It's fun. Then we got our match recap, focusing the whole Brother Wright thing, including Goldberg and, the main event. Not mentioning the whole Eddy Guerrero getting a massive concussion deal. That's no fun. And then we have our main event, which, hold on. Why did I only get a 79? Okay, so we got bad rolls on announcing and color commentator. That's unfortunate. Ooh, I did not. That's unfortunate, man. Kanyon's great. Okay, well, so anyway, Kanyon got a 93, O'Haire gets an 81, Palumbo gets an 88, RVD gets a 95. So doing some quick math here, this should have gotten, let's see here, 2 points over, 14 points over, 16, 32 points over, 40 points over, divided by 4, 10, 89. I mean, I don't know. That seems still a lot for just 2 bad rolls on announcing color commentator. But the thing is, this is just an absolute fight. Everybody gets their spots in. He goes for the cannon cutters. O'Haire throws people around. Palumbo does his brawling, big boots. Goes for the goes for his finisher. RVD flies around. He even hits a 5-star frog splash late on O'Haire, but Kanyon comes in for the save. Palumbo, goes in, goes for the full throttle on O'Haire, but O'Haire gets out of it. Fighting continues, and of course everybody gets involved. Eventually, Mesias and Jindrak come out. They actually end up brawling together. They end the ring. They go after everybody, and the ref eventually just calls for the bell. But the fighting continues. Everyone going after each other. Mesias going after Palumbo. Jindrak trying to stop him. But then, O'Haire going after him. O'Haire and Mesias actually facing off for a second. Kanyon coming in, hitting a cannon cutter on RVD, but then getting hit by Palumbo. Eventually, the officials eventually come out, and then Teddy Long comes out to the top of the ramp. And he says, "Playa, I'm sick and tired of this madness. I don't mind a lot of competition and a lot of rising tension, rising heat, and people going after each other. That's what this business is all about. We gotta have some form of normalcy here. And I'm sick and tired of you guys getting involved in each other's business. So we're going to finish this off at Superbrawl. Not just in any match, but in a 6-man elimination match. To make things even more interesting, these are going to be the teams. On one side is going to be Rob Van Dam, Sean O'Haire, and Mark Jindrak. On the other hand, it's going to be Chick Palumbo, Mesias, and Kanyon. But if any of you turn on each other, you'll be suspended for a long, long time. Playa. And more importantly, this 6-man match is going to be any 6-man match. It's going to be an elimination match. And whoever are the survivors of this match are going to face off on Revolution for a world title shot. So Playa, that's how you're going to get together. That's how we're going to finish this business, between all of you off. So a big 6-man match set up for Superbrawl. And if you can tell, this is called I did not have enough spots on the card for all my big stars and need to figure something out. To do so, you are 100% correct. So again, we had Sean O'Haire, Rob Van Dam, and Mark Jindrak. Then we have Jack Palumbo, Kanyon, and Mesias. So a little bit of Parash and Carbolus, a world title shot on the line, and other fun stuff. So there we go. And overall, the show gets us a 88. Okay, so a little disappointing, but it is what it is. You know, that main event, again, until my announcers get better and more experience together, we're going to have random stuff like that, but what can you do? Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo. Yes, you need to load up and stuff. All right, let's see here. I mean, you're not wrong. All right, so again, just as a little update as far as storylines go, we got challenges everywhere at a 75. I need to throw Tricia and Lizzy in this. Not Wrestling on Laurels is at a 95. Against the Darkness is at a 50. Well, okay, I probably just need to reset this up. Because I forgot to throw Evolution in here because I'm a very smart person. Captivating Nitros at a 72. Dangerous Challenges at a 94. Never Knobles at a 74. Respect Needs to Be Earned is at an 84. Storm Shifts at a 75. Probably need to readjust this. Ultimate Opportunities is at a 60. Well, okay, not really Angle's first match anymore, at an 86. Double A is a double A-hole is at a 66. Expanding Horizons at a 78. Mind Over Gold is at an 87. Money Man is at a 79 because it's been off for a week. New Opening Show, which is RVD, is at an 82. Surprising Challenges is at a 74. Throwing Dark Strikes is at an 82. And Walking into War is at an 81. So you need to build up some stuff. And again, you know, pre-booking wise, we've got Goldberg versus Wright, Kidman versus Angle, the tag title match. This match, which actually is no longer, unfortunately, set. Jarrett versus Styles, Sharp versus London, Dumas versus Skye versus Colt, Monty Brown versus Jack Evans, and that 6-man. And more will be set up, of course. If we look around the wrestling world, SmackDown had Marty Jannetty defeating Chains in a match that should not be on TV. Veronica Vane defeating Selena Majors. Christian, Hawk, and Animal defeating Mafia Mac and Little Fellas in a tables match. Sure. 81. William Regal defeating Steve Bradley in a 76. Benoit defeating Andy Douglas by DQ in an 89. Because, yeah, Benoit can just do random matches like that. Billy Gunn defeated Devon and DuBois in an 81. In a match of people who used to be in big tag teams, now on their own. And the main event, The Undertaker and the Gladiator team up to take on Scott Steiner Kane. And that match ends in the DQ, 93. And that overall got a 82 for them. So again, if we look at our Dev Fed, NWA Wildside, let's see here, TV. Onyx, Hernandez, and Danielson defeat Tony Jones, Austin Creed, and TJ Perkins. So again, you know, Danielson's like almost basically there. Onyx is coming in for a shot. Everybody else still needs to be built up a bit. It's John Phoenix defeat Matt Morgan. Morgan's, you know, getting there slowly. Cassidy and Jamie Ray defeat Kenzo Suzuki and Ryan Drago. Fun stuff. And then for the weekly house show, we had Phoenix, Hernandez, and Danielson defeat Shane Haste, Matt Morgan, and Durate. Yeah, there we go. Tony Brones defeat Brett Major in an I Quit match, because sure, why not? Ryan Drago won the NWA Junior Heavyweight title, so yay for him. And yeah, that's really what of note. If we go to AWQ, I always forget. Did you guys see Ladies Night? Yes, because I went over that. Okay, yeah. Then we had the weekly show, which had Claudia Chambers, Portia Perez, and Tricia Biggers defeat Amazing Kong, Josie, and Blanchard. So wacky, you know, sort of match there. Matt Singles defeat Tracy Taylor. Michelle McCool defeated Ashley Lane. And Molly Swaka defeated Amy Sakura to retain the AWQ Championship title. So fun stuff for there. If we go to the HWA, Oh yeah, HWA is now Classic Sports Entertainment from Classic Balanced. Or no, yeah. So I don't think not a huge change, but it is what it is. Let's see here. Anything of note really? Ty Thomas to beat Billy Rail, so big win for the region. Matt Striker doing Excalibur. The Minority, which is Sean Devari and Danny Basham, sure, doing Corey Castle. And I think that's Jimmy Jacobs, yeah. Outside of that, yeah. Mustafa Ali here, still wrestling at 17. Fun stuff. And then if we go to OVW, it's still doing largely the same things. Shaggy Dope is facing Jay Christ. Insane Dragon is facing Matt Bentley. Let's see here. Riptide, Catherine Mendoza's getting TV title matches, sure. And for Saturday, again, nothing really much of note here. Except Shaggy Dope got a OVW Championship match, sure. So I think, yeah, that's about it for that. So let's take a look around the wrestling world as far as what else is going on. Let's see here. Since Revolution, let's see here. We had, so MLW had Night of Rage 4, which had Kev Northcutt defeat Sick Boy in a cage match, because of course it did. We also had AC Connor, aka D'Lo Brown, defeat, no wait, this is all older stuff. Never mind, my bad. Oh, because I'm looking at January. I'm a dumbass. Like, this seems wrong. Like, you guys have totally seen that before. Anyway, okay, so let's go back to... Okay, so... Revolution. There we go. Okay, so let's see here. M-Pro had a big show. Hit 16,000 people. It had such fun matches as Tiger Mask 4 versus Super Crazy in a 71. Suzumu Mashiki versus Gato in a 72. Otani versus Sumo Dandy, aka Don Fuji, in an 82. Keikumu defeated Hikaru Shida. The gang of Kensei Sasaki, aka Akushi, and Great Suzuki defeated Sky High, which is this guy and Motoro Inoue in a 75. And the main event in a friggin' 90 is Shibata defeating Hidaka for the UWA World Superweight title. Sure. And that was also on pay-per-view, and it got 67,000 buys, so good for them. Let's see, outside of that, we had ROH had a big show in front of 200 people. Let's see here. Daisy Hayes and Fleet Luscious defeat Jessica Havoc and Susan Morton, sure. We had AC Lock defeat EC Negro, again, sure. David Flair defeated Hanson, sure, that's a match. Again, this is like Ring of Honor, this is Ring of Violence. Jay Lethal and Jarrell Clark defeated Eddie Origin and Starling. Why'd you have to team up through Black Guy's AI? And then Dave Mysterio retained the RRG Pure title, sure, versus Trent Acid, Amazing Red, and Alex Shelley in a ladder match. I'm thinking they're not using Pure title as they should use the Pure title, but also they should not have a Pure title because that's reigned by Rob Black. So we had Northern Border Wrestling, which is a Indian Great Lakes. We had Kevin Northcutt defeat Bobby Fulton. We had a Reign of 6 Great defeat Isaiah, and Doug Bash defeat Ace Steel retained the NBW Northern Lights title. So there you go. And Wrestling from Newark. Nothing really to note there. Let's see here. I feel like there's something else I wanted to show you guys. Maybe not. No, maybe this was a frilly. Yeah, okay. Yeah, no, nothing. I do feel like there's something I missed, but nothing that big if I'm not seeing here. So, that's where we are. Again, that's about it for now. If you enjoy this, go ahead and give it a like, comment below what you're liking, not liking, and of course our channel for plenty of TEW 2020 content. Hopefully I'll be able to get some more stuff up on the channel except for this series soon. But, if not, you still have this series, so you have got that going for you. But, but that's it for now, so talk to you later, and adios. Have a good one.